lovely people. Now, I know why you're wondering why the fuck you clicked on this video in the first place. Your second question is probably, are you a boy or a girl? And honestly, I don't even know the answer to that question. Your third question is, oh fuck, what was my, see now I'm high because I can't remember my fucking. Your third question you probably wanted to ask is, Erica, are you wearing makeup? And the answer to that is absolutely, because I look like Britney Spears walking out of a bar if I don't. So basically what I want to start on this channel is, I basically wanted to start vlogging, not necessarily vlogging, but recording my process in my weight loss program. I had just recently gotten gastric bypass sleeve, I think that's what it's called. And I'm going through a lot. Not a lot of people my age go through this. I mean, go through weight loss surgery in general. So I thought it'd be a really good idea to just kind of let people who are, you know, wondering, should I get this surgery? You know, what do I have to go through? How hard is it? All that stuff. Now, I'm only really in the beginning of this process. I just had my surgery probably about a week ago, but I'm gonna say like a week and a half at the point that this video is probably posted because I'm lazy. So yeah, so I'm going to probably be doing weekly things because a lot of the stuff after surgery is by weeks. So after the first week, usually you can only eat like liquids, and then it's kind of different each and every week. So I want to basically make videos to explain and to show people what I'm going through at this time, and hopefully people can get an idea of if they do want to have the surgery, if it's not maybe their thing. And I also just want to bring a smile to people's faces. I currently have lost 40 pounds? 30 pounds? 40 pounds? I've currently lost 40 pounds since May. Now, with my insurance, and I don't know if this is with everybody's, but you have to do a 6-month diet if your BMI is not high enough. So because my BMI was 1 short, my BMI was 49 out of 50, and so I had to go through this 6-month diet thing with a nutritionist. That's not what I meant to say. A dietitian. So every month since May, I had to go and see the dietitian. Basically, we would just discuss about cutting out sugars, cutting out fast food, cutting out, you know, just unnecessary things in your life that you really don't need. A lot of it is also staying very hydrated, cutting out your sugar, obviously your sugary foods, drinking a lot of water. Yeah, so you go and see the dietitian every month, discuss with her, you know, what's going on with your diet, how you're trying to get through, like if you're walking, what, you know, how much you're walking a day, stuff like that. Usually it depends on the dietitian, but they're pretty quick appointments. They just want to really check up on you. Once you get there, they usually weigh you. Another thing with it as well is that you can't gain like more than 30 pounds during the 6-month dieting thing, or else they won't let you have the surgery. So yes, you can if you want to just go through the 6 months seeing your dietitian and not making a change, but I 1000% would not recommend that because it takes 21 days to form a habit. So if you just go in and get that surgery and you're not really prepared for what's to come, it's gonna be really hard on you after surgery. So I would definitely recommend dieting or cutting out things you can for at least 2 weeks before you get surgery. Because it's not 2 weeks before surgery, at least 2 weeks before you even schedule anything. Now, what was I gonna say? Bro. Okay. So once your 6 months is up, you haven't gained more than 30 pounds, hopefully you lost some weight or stayed steady, that's okay. But I mean, everybody's bodies are different. It's fine. But if you know that you cut out stuff, if you cut out things that you didn't need, it's a completely different story. You know, it's not about the weight at that point. It's more about you cutting out unhealthy habits. So in November, so I actually started at 350, which was my absolute highest weight. And by November, which was my last weigh-in date, I was at 340, I believe. So 15 pounds, it wasn't bad. Definitely was happy about it because I'm not necessarily a person to lose weight very quickly. And I mean, 6 months isn't really quickly, 15 pounds for 6 months, whatever. But it's always very easy in that 6 months to go back to a habit. It's just very hard. I wish it weren't as long, but that's how it is for me. If you don't have to do that, like I said, I would totally recommend trying to cut out stuff like that before you even schedule it. So pre-surgery, you have to do now this is just what I went through. I don't know if it's different for any other states or where anybody else lives. But for me, I had to schedule my surgery. Before that, I ended up having to take a class, which they give you like a booklet, a whole bunch of stuff, and it basically tells you everything about your surgery, pre-surgery, after surgery, you know, things that are gonna happen, like if you have to take certain vitamins after, anything like that. I need to drink a fucking water. I have cotton mouth. So you have to attend this class, go through that. That's a huge part of it because if I don't do the things that are required of it, I can't get my surgery. Which is kind of silly to think, you know, I did 6 months of, you know, I went through 6 months of driving out to the doctor and, you know, whatever. So I did the class, and then the second thing I had to do was called pre-screen testing. And you go in, talk to the anesthesiologist. I met the anesthesiologist. They got like my family history, my health history. They make sure you have quit smoking. Quit smoking is a huge part of it. A lot of doctors will not do the surgery if you are like currently smoking, because smoking really prolongs the process of healing. And not only that, but you have a very high risk of getting pneumonia after surgery. So it's definitely a huge thing not to do that. So after that, I went and got blood work done. They just checked like my blood sugar and just to make sure that I was okay and set. After that, I ended up getting a call, and they told me that my vitamin D3 was low, so they had sent me out a prescription, which was really easy. Like, I'm just thankful that everything went through. And so after that, a week later, I went to the hospital at frickin' 4 o'clock in the morning. Ended up getting there at 5 o'clock. I registered, and they got me into a gown, got me into bed, put my IV in, and it's a long process to get into surgery, but you know, once you under, like, you don't care. And I believe my surgery was about 2 hours. It was hell waking up. It really was. The first thing I remember, I was in the recovery room. It felt like my abdomen was on fire. My chest was about to explode. I just felt like I was gonna straight up vomit. I was very, very nauseous, had the worst chest pain, the worst abdominal pain. And may I remind you, I do have kind of a high pain tolerance. So pain with me isn't necessarily a huge deal. Not that pain doesn't affect me as much, it's just that I've learned to deal with pain a lot better than other people, I guess. So I guess that's a pain tolerance, I really don't know. But I was in a super duper amount of pain. I don't remember much of recovery. I do remember angrily telling the nurses that were frantically running around, God bless them, I feel so bad because I was awful. But I was also still groggy. I was still half asleep. I just remember yelling to them that I was about to throw up. I was about to throw up. Like, somebody get me something. Like, I'm about to vomit everywhere. So they come and bring me like this little circular pan looking thing. It looks like a little bedpan, I guess. I don't really know. So I basically slept with that at my neck for 3 hours while I was in the recovery room. And they got me up to a room. Got me up to a room. I was slowly waking up. I think the first time I was really like trying to stay awake was my mom and my fiance came in the room. And it felt like they left so quickly, but I think I was just asleep for so long that it was just too hard on them and they had to go home, which is totally fine by me because I'm pretty sure I slept the rest of the day. They were bringing me gas drops, pain medication. No, not even pain medication. They actually were constantly, I had a button that I could push if I was in pain, and then it would put a certain dosage of pain medication in. Now there's like certain things here, like you can't press the button like 8 times in 1 minute. It's timed, you can't, like it'll show your failed attempts too. So like, if you try clicking it 10 times within the first minute, it's gonna come up there. It's gonna alert them that you're trying to pump 10 freaking milligrams of morphine or whatever is in your arm at a time. And they probably would take you off it at that point, unless you're just so drugged up that you don't realize you keep pressing the button, which I'm sure I did a couple of times. And so the gas drops, oh, and I just kept complaining about my chest hurting. My chest hurts so effing bad. It felt like heartburn, but like ×3. It was very, very uncomfortable. I couldn't really move. It was hard to sit up. It was hard to lay down. If I laid down all the way, I got nauseous. If I sat up too much, it was like my whole abdomen was just aching and on fire, and it was awful. So it was a very uncomfortable first night, that is for sure. I was on a whole bunch of medication. Nobody had visited me the rest of that night. Now, keep in mind that I was told that yes, you could end up staying more than 1 day. Usually most patients are only there a day, but there was an option for me to be there more than 1 day. And the doctor, I think, was very worried about me for some odd reason. I think it's because I was complaining about my chest burning so much, and I didn't really process in my mind that it was most likely just really bad heartburn. So I think he was worried about me. They ended up making me stay another day, which I was absolutely fucking pissed about in the first place. But now that I'm here, I'm realizing that was probably a good idea. They kept me an extra night. The second night was the first night to the second night was probably the worst. They came in my room every hour on the hour, giving me medication, definitely they were checking my vitals every hour or two, checking my temperature, my blood pressure. They would come and prick my freaking finger every hour to test my blood sugar, because for some reason while I sleep, I don't know, my blood sugar was constant, like it was good constantly. So there was no reason for them to worry about my blood sugar. So I was a little salty because I still have holes in my fingers. And so now I'm starting to realize the second day was probably a good thing. They ended up finding out that my heart rate was dropping down to 48 while I sleep, which if you don't know is not very good. I do have sleep apnea. I was wearing my CPAP at the time, but my heart rate for some reason was dropping down to 48. Now, I think I'm gonna blame that on the amount of pain medication I was in. I was taking liquid Norco at the time because I didn't feel like the morphine was helping me, which is stupid to say because it's morphine, but it really didn't feel like it was helping. So I took liquid Norco, which actually did end up helping with the pain, but it put me to bed in 10 minutes. So I was constantly sleeping the second day. Like, I think I was awake maybe 4 hours of the day, if that. Yeah, so a huge thing too is you have to get up and walk, which fucking sucks because you're in so much pain, but you have to get up to walk because a lot of the pain that you feel in your chest is from gas. Because to do the surgery, he has to obviously blow up whatever the fuck he does in there to make room so he has room to work. So walking is a huge, huge thing. It's hard to do at first, but it honestly, it helps. You're gonna be tooting a lot. You're gonna be burping a lot. Enjoy it because it feels great. So yeah, I ended up getting to go home. On my third day, I was fully set on going home. I was not letting anybody tell me I was staying any longer. I got up and walked. I probably did like 5 laps around the thing that day, that floor. Yeah, so I was very set on going home. My sister and my fiance came and they picked me up, which was totally awesome. And I came home and I'm actually doing really well. I'm still in a lot of pain. Still having gassy issues. Biggest thing for me was learning how to sip and not gulp, which I don't think I even know how to fucking sip. What is sipping, you know? So, yeah, sipping is a huge thing because if you gulp, it causes too much air, and honestly, you'll want to die. You will want to die if you get air in this fucking thing. It's awful. So yeah, I'm basically gonna end this video here. So I'm thinking my first, like, episode, I guess you could say, of my weight loss surgery series. I'm gonna do a little bit more of a background about me and my weight and my mental issues, anxiety, bipolar depression. I'm gonna go through all that stuff because I want you guys to get to know me a little bit better. Because it's kind of weird just watching videos of people online, and so I totally want to get in my backstory, let people know what kind of things I went through growing up, you know, being overweight, and you know, how everything's gonna go. And I want to be able to show you guys how I'm doing and where I'm going, and this is gonna be a really awesome process, and I just want to bring people along with me. I want people to know how it is going through something like this. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching this, if you even watched it. No, my hair doesn't always look like I'm in a 90s boy band, but maybe it'll be different someday. So yeah, thank you for watching this. I really appreciate it. I'm really hoping to start making videos every week. My videos are gonna be edited by my sister's boyfriend Ryan, who is just absolutely amazing. And he's a huge help, and I'm so excited. He's gonna make this video fucking bomb. And yeah, thank you so much.